What's going on, folks? Welcome back to another episode of Tackle Tuesday here on Joe Bob's Bass in my garage as per usual. Today, I want to talk to you guys about my absolute go-to fishing line for the last couple years now. I have been using this P-Line CXX for, man, this is probably my third summer of pretty much just using this, other than my braid, of course. This is a copolymer line, okay? If you guys aren't familiar with copolymer, I'm not an expert on this kind of stuff. I don't know everything, right? But from what I have done, my research on copolymer is great because it's kind of like a mono, but it's not. It's kind of just better than mono in a lot of ways, I think, for a lot of the ways that I fish, that is. I use this 17-pound for my Tranx 200 and my Corrado 150. Throwing bigger baits most of the time, heavier stuff. You know, on my Corrado, I'll throw chatterbaits and a lot of moving stuff. It's a high gear ratio, so you know, stuff that I'm really chucking and retrieving quick most of the time. On my Tranx, so that's mostly my bigger swim bait stuff, right? So the 17, I have found that is just enough. You know, I probably could go up to a 20. Don't really think I need to, at least not right now. And let me tell you guys, this stuff is just my go-to because, knock on wood, I have had no bad luck with it. I have not broken off. It is so abrasive resistant, whether you're throwing over rocks, logs. I mean, I can get hit and catch fish after fish after fish. I can catch pike after pike, and this line is just smooth as a whistle still. I don't even feel like I need to replace it now. I still do every once in a while. I tie a new knot or cut off 6 inches or whatever, but from what I've seen from fishing this over the last few years, you really don't even need to a lot of the time, which is just fantastic when you can have a really quality, very middle priced, I would say too. It's definitely not, you know, your super, you know, expensive line that some guys will pay a ton of money for because it's invisible in the water or this or that, right? So the big thing is, because this is copolymer, it's going to be thinner than mono at the same test, right? So 17-pound mono, it's going to be a bit thicker. It's got a little bit of stretch, but not too much, right? I don't like how much mono stretches sometimes, especially for a lot of the types of stuff that I'm throwing. So this stuff is really, really good. I've got it in 17-pound, 15-pound. I use the 10-pound for leaders if I'm throwing braid on my spinning combos. I'll throw a 20 or 30-pound braid, typically Yozuri. We'll get into that maybe a different day. And then I'll throw a 10-pound, this P-Line polycarbonate lure, leader, onto that, right? And then I've also got a 4-pound on my ultralight, and I've got a 6-pound on my medium light. This stuff is just what I throw, guys. The line memory is very, very low. I mean, there's so few negatives. And of course, now that I'm making this video, next time I go fishing, I'm gonna lose one of my $100 swim baits. I just know it. That's just how life works, right? But no, really, guys, this stuff is great if you're looking for just a different kind of line. The other thing with this copolymer is that it kind of refracts light differently than mono, and that it's neutral buoyancy, right? So it's gonna sit very close or just under the water if you're throwing like top water, right? If you're throwing a jerk bait or something, it's gonna just fall with your bait. It's not gonna drag you down, and it's not gonna float and have that bait not fall to the depth that it needs to, right? So that is another reason where it's just so versatile. You can throw almost anything on it, and I've never had a problem with it. So I am just a guy that is not don't fix what ain't broken, right? I'm having great experiences with this line. I hope you guys try it out. I have not tried any of the other P-Line. I know they've got a couple different things. I know they have some ice fishing stuff as well that I might have to try this next year. I've just thrown this on the 4-pound on my ice fishing stuff, and it's worked great, but I know they do have some ice fishing specific stuff, so check that out. But there it is, guys, for today. That is really plain and simple. Just wanted to go over the line that I'm using, the P-Line CXX polycarbonate. 17-pound is my go-to. 15-pound I'll throw maybe on my Corrado or my other 13 fishing bait caster, and then the 10-pound I'll use as a leader, and then the 4 and the 6-pound I'll use on my spinning combos, my ultralight, and my medium light combos. So check it out, guys. Thanks for watching. We will see you guys next week.